Welcome back to another episode of Jacksonville Buzz's Buzzworthy Businesses. I'm Steve Strum, as always. Next to me is David Permenter. How you doing this afternoon,
I'm
sir?
doing great, buddy.
Good to see you. But I'm not here to talk about you. I know you. I know who you are. We're here to talk about...
Maybe next week.
Talking about Julia Grigio, not related to Pinot.
No.
So, Julia Grigio, not related to Pinot. Tell us a little bit about Let Me Tell You a Little Story, LLC. What is that type of... What type of story are you going to tell us?
A story that's unique. It's about my business, and it's just starting out, for one, so I'm fairly new. But it's basically a journalist / local reporter.
A journalist / local reporter. Yeah. So news media, in a world of media that we're sitting here on a media platform with. The question the producers are going to probably be asking me later is how many times can I say media in a sentence? 4 for anybody who's in the back watching me going shaking their head right now. You're new in the business.
Yes.
Now, going into news media is definitely an interesting path. As we were talking a little offset, you actually have a normal professional 9 to 5, and in Jacksonville here as an employer. What made you decide to go into news media? I mean, that's a tough gig, man. Trust me, it's tough. Like, I screw up all the time, and it is amazing how much more intelligent they make me look when they cut it and edit it.
Post-production is a lifesaver.
They add more hair. It's great. I'm taller. It's fabulous. So why'd you get in the news media?
I just believe that everybody has a story to tell, and it's good to catch it on film. Especially when you're talking to them, interacting. You can tell a lot by a person when you talk to them, especially by their face.
Your timing is interesting. There's a lot of distrust in the validity of the news media.
Mm-hmm.
How are you dealing with that? Because it is definitely something, I mean, this is obviously a show that we do that's apolitical. But over the last 2 years, there's been a lot of politicization in the media where people are like, should I believe that? Should I not believe that? How is it? Tell us a little bit about what you do in the media. Like, what parts of the media, what do you focus on?
I focus on more so stuff that's going around in the community and stuff that the news don't capture, as far as stuff that I can find out through, my sorority, local community events, and that's more so where I get most of my stories from.
So you give a voice to people who have a story that otherwise would not be told.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and nobody would nearly pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, everybody has a story, but who's willing to listen?
How do you share those stories? Primarily through your YouTube channel and blogging as well?
Yes. If you want the full depth interview, you have to go to my blog, and then that's where you'll find it out.
So what kind of stories do you do?
I do stuff that's going around in local Jacksonville, as far as where you have local vendors that's coming out, that's promoting their businesses that people know nothing about. Some of them travel from Jacksonville, from local cities, who come in, and we don't even know that we're having those local events here. We just had one recently in October that was at the beach that was really nice. And I think it was over 150 vendors that came out there, people who had their own businesses that's trying to get it uprooted. So, it's just like me. So
in a scenario like that, you would go to the various vendors and interview them?
Yes, and ask them how they got their business started, where can they find you, and then they'll tell me a little bit about their story.
So it's in the lifestyle universe, but you find the story within the story.
Yes.
And we were talking a little offset about an example. There was a young lady that you had run into that was afflicted by cancer who started a business because of what her experience was. Tell us a little story about her little story as we take it out.
Yeah, she had breast cancer, and then through chemo and radiation, she just developed some rashes on her skin. So her and her best friend came up with a skincare line that she started to use on her skin to make the burns and the bruising go away. So that's how she started her, and she was actually out there at the event that I was out there interviewing people, and it's a success right now for her.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you played a part in that success.
I did, and I actually interviewed her and uploaded it to it. So she was really nice, and you should see her skin. It's amazing right now.
So as we take it away, We were talking about The One Thing, not the book, but it is a good book.
Great book.
Great
Killer.
book. The one book, right? The one book, not the one thing. It's one. It's one book with one thing.
That's right.
There's multiple things,
From one author.
but it talks about one thing. And whenever we talk about the one thing, right? It's always that. What's that one thing that makes you special? You're unique in your process with what you do with the media stuff, right? Your reporting. What's that one thing that's like, man, this is the thing that makes me sparkle. Like, what's that thing that people are like, you know what? I need to have this. I need to call this lady to come out and cover my story.
I'm the one that's willing to listen, and I cover the stories that nobody else does.
Well, hey, that's usually how it goes. I know that you got a lot of socials, right? Yeah, the YouTube channel, you got the website, you got all the things, all the grams, so to speak. What we'll do is we'll make sure to post all of your links on our website, which is thedailynewsnetwork.com, because then people can come and check you out and maybe book you to come out and cover their story. And as you're out there doing it, man, journalism's not easy. That is definitely something that's a lot of miles. Hopefully, do you have comfortable shoes?
I do. I love tennis shoes.
There you go. Well, leather bottom ones. I think these might have holes in it. I think there might literally be a
These
hole.
shoes are made for
This one, I got to be careful because one of these guys, if it rains outside, it might just, and it's just a matter of, a lot of miles on these shoes because it is, telling a story like we do here, right? We tell stories of people and what great things they're doing in Jacksonville. This is what you're trying to do in a different venue, but it still is a great thing because Jacksonville is a great city. There's a lot of awesome opportunities that are out there. And you know what? Sometimes a little guy may not have an opportunity to say, you know what? This is what makes me special. So it sounds like you're doing something like that for the people in your community, in your sphere, that you're trying to help make a difference for them, trying to make a difference for our area, something in that neighborhood, right?
Exactly.
Well, I do appreciate you coming in today.
We do. We both do. Thanks so much.
And of course, guys, without you guys watching this thing, there's no reason for us to sit over here and babble about fun stories in the universe. So thank you so much for joining us on Jacksonville Buzz's Buzzworthy Businesses. If you like us, share us. And remember, live with gratitude.